Hey everyone, welcome back to your Ninja Academy. Today we are going to get through Sasuke introducing Itachi to the Sarada for the first time. If you would like to see more about Boruto in our channel, please leave your thumbs up and subscribe to join our Ninja Academy. And well guys, when we talk about the past and about amazing characters from Naruto universe, the strongest and most powerful characters like Hashirama, Minato, Jiraiya and so on come to mind. All these were amazing ninjas, but they are ninjas that are still remembered and known to the new generation. Some even mirror these ninjas, but when we talk about Uchihas, the subject is very different. After all, as we know, the history of Uchihas is not a good and healthy story to tell a child, so much so that most of their history is hidden. What we have are some books explaining about mangekyou Sharingan and its powers. But when we remember this generation, the generation of Boruto and Sarada, and we think about what their heroes are, well, we don't have many. After all, this generation only has Naruto and Sasuke as role models. And it's not that this is bad, it really isn't, but it's amazing to notice the difference between generations and their possible inspirations. If in the past both Naruto and Sasuke and several other ninjas had several ninjas as inspiration to be someone better, maybe the Leaf ninjas are orphans of new heroes, and not only that, orphans of the past and history, especially Sarada. She wants to be like Naruto, who is the Hokage, the most powerful and respectable ninja in the village. Maybe this is the only character who still has an appreciation for the ninjas of the past, as we are used to seeing, but still, it's strange to see that even though she went after information about her clan, she never questioned her father about it. Come on guys, the Uchihas are the founders of the village as much as the Senjus. They are important to the story, especially her uncle Itachi. If Sasuke doesn't want Sarada to have the same mistakes he had in his life, in addition to using metaphors about how bad he was, why doesn't he talk about his relationship with his brother? Even though Itachi is no longer alive, he would have a lot to pass on to Sarada if Sasuke told all the past and socializing he and his brother had. Sasuke even saw the words that Itachi had with Naruto during their fight in the Valley of the End, and Itachi himself showed everything to him after the fight against Kabuto. So why keep Sarada so far from her clan? Itachi from a young age was already a genius. With 6 years old, he already had a pacifist mind, and though like a Hokage said Hiruzen, with 8 years old he had already broken almost all Ninja Academy records, which is worth of remembering. Until the present day in Boruto were not broken. That is, Itachi to this day is the second best shinobi in the village, second only to Minato, who has the highest test scores, and yet no one speaks or is inspired by him? I say, it's strange and even unfair, because Itachi has an absurd large and complex historical load that can't be left out like that. In addition to being a genius when he was still young, having the highest grades, he was a disciple and was very influenced by Shisui, one of the greatest and fairest Uchihas ever born, and who is also another who was forgotten, and that's very sad. But as amazing as Shisui was, and he really was, Itachi Uchiha was totally outstanding, said by many including Orochimaru for being the greatest genius who was ever born in Konoha. That is, if Boruto is the genius of this generation, he should be proud of it. After all, it's not just anyone who is rated as a ninja prodigy of his country. So guys, I would really like to see more moments and lines about Itachi within Boruto's anime and manga. But maybe that's not just Sasuke's fault. Naruto is a lot to blame on this matter too. After all, he also knows who Itachi was. He talked to him. Itachi entrusted Naruto with Shisui's eye and the issue of Sasuke being an enemy. Come on guys, and he's the current Hokage, so at the very least, to inspire the new generation, at least I expect it. I expected at least some classes on ninjas from the past, so not only Itachi would be remembered. And guys, you may think I'm pushing the issue of Itachi's importance to the story and to Sarada, but no guys. Itachi was not so important that if it wasn't for him to have returned as Edo Tensei in 4th grade ninja war, the Edo Tensei would never have been undone. And in addition, the shinobi world would still have a strong potential enemy, which in this case is Kabuto. So no folks, a ninja who has done so much for the ninja world cannot be hidden like that. You can't deny that he was the big responsible for saving Konoha with his sacrifice. So there is no such thing. Itachi is very important, and he would be an important hero to Sarada to meet. Having heroes is part of the history and development of young promises, and young promises are currently far from that. Maybe the mistake is even Sasuke or the current Hokage Naruto, who never wanted to show the past to the new generation like Hiruzen Sarutobi taught his generation. Their will is falling behind, it is unfortunately disappearing, but if you are going to talk about the ninjas of the past, especially Itachi, Sasuke or Naruto, you would also have to talk about the mistakes that were made by him and that can lead to young people not liking them these days or even following wrong ideals. Yes, it really can happen, but it's still better than hiding the past. Hey guys, since Sarada going after her past and knowing more about her father and the Uchihas was too sad, the right thing was to have told the whole story, so that the bad and evil part doesn't repeat itself. This is a mistake. Itachi himself said this in the past. My biggest mistake was doing everything by myself. If only I had trusted you, Sasuke, had told you the whole truth before, maybe you could change the clan and maybe the village. That was my biggest fail. I'm sorry. And so guys, even though they were great and powerful, none of those ninjas were perfect, even Minato. So I believe that if Sasuke told more about Itachi to his daughter, it would be of great help. Because Naruto now goes to start training Kawaki and you won't even have time for him. Have you ever thought how cool it would be for Sasuke to teach Sarada that even if she has the dream of being like Naruto, one Hokage, that she understands that her uncle Itachi Uchiha, as much as he made mistakes and did horrible things, he was still great and very important shinobi. And that was the biggest inspiration as a child. And that could happen now that both are training Chidori in the anime. In fact, it doesn't even have to be in the manga. Just having this conversation in the anime, I would be satisfied. Since Sasuke taking Sarada to the place where the fight between them took place, talking about mangekyou Sharingan issue, even more now that Sarada was worried about this issue, so it would be nice to clarify all this now. Just like Boruto met Jiraiya in the time travel arc, and that's why he ended up becoming more unique with his father and with his origin, his past, to point of going with his father to visit the grave of the most important person in Naruto's life. I think something similar would happen if Sasuke did the same with Sarada. Of course, everything will depend on how this will be explained and how Sasuke will show it to Sarada, because like it or not, Sasuke is not a very good father, he's learning little by little. He's going well, but there is still a long way to go to get to the point of being a father really focused on being an example for his daughter. And showing Sarada his past could be a big step beyond Sarada knowing her past and her uncle. It would also be a good step to unite more both as father and daughter, and who knows, with the emotions of discovering everything about their clan to Sarada doesn't awaken her mangekyou Sharingan. After all, she's one of the few Uchihas who awaken their powers that weren't based on hate or pain, but on good feelings like affection and love. And it would be amazing if it were that way instead of a fight or a sad moment like always. But leave your opinion there in the comments. Do you think knowing about the past generations is really important or not? Comment, okay? Also, don't forget to leave your like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out any content from your favorite Ninja Academy.